Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the Footy Show Daily. We are live on Patreon. Don't forget, if you want to join us live 4 days a week on Patreon, you can do. The link is in the description. Come over and try it. See how you feel about it. But we are live every day, which means if you're watching, you can get your comments in and your questions and your opinions on anything we're talking about and anything we're not talking about. More importantly, if you've got a burning desire to talk about Craig Gordon leaving Celtic and going to Hearts, then do that. Do you know what I mean? I want to know. I want to know. Obviously, it was a weekend of FA Cup action with a little sprinkling of Premier League football. But obviously, Thursday night, Man City, let the world down essentially, didn't they? By getting beat by Chelsea. Fantastic 3 points for Chelsea, gets them back in the hunt for the top three, which was lost amongst all the fireworks. Fantastic win for them, because that puts them, well in contention now for the top three, and Leicester will be looking over their shoulder, not just at them, but at Wolves and at Manchester United.
Yeah, Lampard's had a good return, haven't they? Following the lockdown. And to beat City, who had looked excellent, let's be honest. City had played 2-1, scored 8, conceded none from their opening 2 games in lockdown. So for, Chelsea had a narrow win at Villa, a tough win at Villa, and responded with another really good result against City. And it awarded Liverpool a title, but Chelsea are more interested in their progress, aren't they? And he's had a really good season, Lampard. They've already got Ziyech in the bag. They've got Timo Werner in the bag for next season. They're now at the weekend in the FA Cup. They won as well at Leicester. Another big win for them. So, what a good return for them it's been since lockdown. And, to be fair to them, before lockdown, they just beat us 4-0. So, on a good run. On a very, very good run.
Yeah, everything seems to be going really well for them. We spoke about this I think last week or the week before, and how the transfer window banners are now coming back, and the lockdown has just played perfectly into their hands. Being able to go out there and almost have free reign over the talent they want, because they've got the money, they've got no FFP concerns. They're in a good position because they're in a Champions League spot. I mean, they're still in the Champions League, aren't they, this season?
Technically.
Yeah.
They're 3-0 down.
No, I know.
And they've got to play Bayern Munich.
No, I know.
But yet they're still in that. They're in the FA Cup semi-finals as well now. So he's had a hell of a first season. And what looked like, I wouldn't say his hands were tied, but what looked like a season, you were looking at Chelsea and going, not sure, because they weren't great last season under Sarri. He's come in, they couldn't spend any money. You're looking at them going, still got good players, because they have, but we're unsure where they lie. And yet he's used that to his advantage. He's turned that to an advantage, and he's give young lads a go. And them alongside the more established Premier League
winners. He's mixed it up really well, hasn't he? One thing that I think about him when I look at him is he looks like he's the man in charge. And it's the first time in a while at Chelsea.
I think he's got the trust, hasn't he, of Abramovich, because he's a club legend.
Yeah, but it's just the way he speaks as well, though. He's firm, but with that sort of, you can see that it's all about, it all comes from the right place. But you're right, he's allowed to sort of say, doesn't speak out of, the wrong way. But what I mean is that when you listen to Sarri, when you listen to Conte, there was always that
Marino.
There was always that, I'm doing things, but it's not the way I fully want to do things. There was always that undercurrent of we signed a player, I've got no idea, that nothing to do with me. Whereas with Lampard, it's straight away, he's gone in, it's his first Premier League job after doing a good job at Derby. He's gone in and he's like, this is the job I want, so I'm part of the way we move forward. I'm not going to hamper that. I'm not hamstrung by having the previous experience of how I did things at this club, or how I did things at this is how we're going to do things, and I'm buying into it completely, and that gives me so much. And also that helps him, because he is a young manager, so he is coming through with that idea of, well, We do have a technical director, of course we do. That person helps me because then I can spend more time on the training pitch, and he's buying into the ethos that they've put in place, and I think, you know, I know at the moment it's almost like, well, you look at them and go, yeah, they're a good team, but if I was Liverpool and I was Manchester City, I would just be having a little glance over my shoulder and thinking, well, they're doing it the right way, and if they're catching up, and with these two new signings, well, who knows, they might start getting competitive to just push us a little bit.
Next season will be not difficult because they've got good players, but it'll be interesting to see how they do. This season, he was allowed to just get on with the stuff because people were looking, and Chelsea fans as well. Don't forget, he's got their back and he's a Chelsea legend and all that. So he's got their back and he's got the backing of Abramovich, unable to spend the money. Now he's given some money to spend and he spent it. So it'll be interesting to see how they do, but it looks like everything's in place there for them to be a good side. And you're right, I think, with the additions of Ziyech and Werner, City and Liverpool should be looking a little bit and going, oh, they might just have another one we've got to overcome. I think the other thing as well that's helped him is, you're right, he's come in from Derby, so he's had one season in a championship club doing things in a way where he hasn't got money and all that, so I think that's helped him. And I think he's come in and is delighted to be given the opportunity to be the Chelsea manager. So when you're coming in from a lower base like he was, and we've got a technical director who does that, we've got this fella who does that, this fella who does that, but he knows Abramovich. All of a sudden you're buying into everything. And you're buying into the fella who you've known from being a player who loved you in terms of Abramovich. So for him, it's almost like an exciting journey, and he's part of. He's not frustrated because when he managed someone else, he was in charge, and it was all that. The other managers have all gone against Abramovich almost, or against what they do. I'm not happy with this. Mourinho, was looking for different. I know Mourinho's problem was he fell out with Eva Canero, didn't he, at the time, and he went against there, and people didn't like it. And Mourinho's turned into a cantankerous old man, hasn't he? In terms of he's always looking to be, because maybe that's how he gets his energy, to create that you're against me, and that gives him that spark because he's been doing it for so long. I don't know. He's always come across as someone who thrives on being wronged. If he feels like he's being wronged, he can achieve then. Whether people called him negative, he loved that. Whether people called him the interpreter, he loved that. He loved beating Barcelona. They called him the interpreter and giving it all out at the new camp. He loved it when he hates Liverpool, couldn't even say the name apparently, but he loved them bats against them. And all of this, he's always someone to go against it. Conte come in, had a good first season, then didn't like the way things were done and chased Costa and fell out with this, that and the other and wanted to go home. Sarri's done the same. Come in, didn't like the way things, people maybe didn't buy into him the way he wanted to. Lampard's had none of that and has been able to develop, and he's done a very, very good job this season.
And as you mentioned there, a good 1-0 win at Leicester in the FA Cup as well yesterday, so they're into the semi-finals. Play Man United in the semi-finals, is it?
Do they?
I think so.
You know what's interesting though, what I was going to say about the FA Cup, because it was obviously this weekend, and I watched Norwich Man U on Saturday, and there was the games yesterday. It's the first example, I would say, where the crowd it's been noticeable that the crowd hasn't been able to affect games, if that makes sense. Yeah. And the Premier League is such a sanitised competition anyway, I find at times.
Yeah.
But the FA Cup still got that moment of where you can be upset.
Yeah,
you know, and
the Newcastle game showed that against
Newcastle City, even Sheffield United, Arsenal. If Sheffield United would have equalised in the 87th minute with a crowd there, the momentum would have swung the other way. The same with Norwich against United. Equalised, Campbell scored a cracking goal, no closer than when it got sent off, but the crowd would have been bouncing. That's to say if it was only 1-0 anyway, but I just felt it was the first one where, same even with this game, Leicester and Chelsea, you know, King Power bouncing with Leicester fans, it's a slightly different prospect. I don't think it's the same in the Premier League, but I think for a cup game where it's just that one-off, I think it was noticeable this weekend that the crowd wasn't in the stadium for those games, because I think we might have seen a couple maybe seen a couple of different results than what we saw.
Definitely. And I mentioned there, Man City beat Newcastle. And obviously they got a penalty, and then Dwight Gale misses a gilt-edged chance, and then City go down the other end and Sterling wraps in a great goal. And as you're saying, it's that second half when Newcastle came out and there was a little bit more energy, and Andy Carroll started to bounce in people's faces and things like that. If the crowd had been there, I think it could have been massively, you know, a different kind of different scenario. The crowd wouldn't have let the Newcastle team back down. They would have asked them to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. So obviously Man City through.
Semi-finalists again.
Semi-finalists.
City, United, Chelsea.
I think it's the 4 previous winners, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we've had. So,
United,
so they're all in there. So it's not quite, doesn't quite guarantee 7th place as Europe because of Arsenal. But obviously if Manchester United, City or Chelsea win it, then it will go to 7th at this point. So
Arsenal could finish 7th anyway.
Well, they could, yeah.
But yeah.
But it's all the predictable teams. And obviously Arsenal, as you mentioned, they went to Sheffield United. Sheffield United equalised last minute, and then they go down the other end and score. And one thing I would say is, just think about the Arsenal situation. They've played all 4 games away from home.
Yeah, they have.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just.
But one was rearranged, wasn't it?
No, I know. It's just a mad situation. The way it's worked. It's worked out.
They've got Brighton, haven't they, this week? No, not Brighton. They've got Norwich at home, who they should beat.
Yeah.
Should beat. But then they've got some tough games. Then Arsenal, you know, but Liverpool and Spurs are in their final games, so they've got some tricky games. So it'll be interesting. But good result for Arteta. No, needed it after the Brighton defeat, didn't he?
Well, they'd won in the week, hadn't they?
They won in the week,
Southampton.
which again was a bit of a gift for the first goal, but they've had a couple of back-to-back wins and they needed it.
Really what he needed. As we mentioned, Manchester United beat Norwich again. That one went into extra time. Obviously, they deserved to win it. They were only slightly, but they did deserve to win it. But not like you're saying, Norwich with a crowd could have been a completely different game, and that's where you're just lacking that little bit of spark. Because the thing about the Premier League is it's obviously it's not all on the day. No. You know, it's you go into the next game.
History, aren't you, into games because of what you've done.
But in the FA Cup, without being that one-off mentality, that's where you do need. It's gonna be weird, isn't it? Those semi-finals and final getting played at Wembley.
No one there.
Big cavernous space. Wouldn't you thought? I know they won't. But wouldn't you thought? There's no financial thing, although the FA probably will pay Wembley. Wouldn't you just think that would be, certainly for the semi-finals, just say, right, we're going to have neutral venues, because what's the difference? Makes
no difference. It's going to be weird.
It is going to be weird.
Wembley empty. It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's just going to be...
Cavernous. I mean, absolute cavernous.
Yeah, it's just bizarre.
In the Premier League, Wolves beat Aston Villa 1-0 on Saturday. And then Sunday, Southampton beat Watford 3-1. Great win for Southampton. Danny Ings in great form.
Two good, well, I know Sechmont took a big deflection, but 2 good goals.
And really, it, you know, excuse me, the bottom 5 have started horrendously. They haven't had a win between them yet, have they?
Not one of them have won. And that's the thing, isn't it, there, when you're looking at that bottom 5. Brighton got that win against Arsenal, and they're on 33 points. That should just be enough, but they've got some terrible games, Brighton. You know, they really have. I think they play Man United at Old Trafford this next game. And so you're thinking if a couple of those bottom teams have got wins, Brighton would have been dragged back into it, and they've got a bad run, but none of them, it seems, can get any kind of win. I mean, I watched Villa against Wolves, and certainly in the first half, Villa were the better side, without really, neither team really created anything, and the Donker come up with into the second half with a nice goal, but Villa, they'd threaten without really threatening, if you know what I mean. The Wolves couldn't. I was watching Wolves just thinking, just an average side.
No goal scorers though. That's the thing, isn't it?
Jimenez, those are 24 goals.
No, I mean, not for Wolves. I
Oh,
mean,
for Villa?
No, I mean,
No.
like, the bottom five, but none of them for the bottom
got
five.
anything between them, have they? But then, second half, when Wolves scored, they looked, and they brought Traore on, and then they scored a couple of minutes later. After that, Villa were just relying.
Defensively, though, Wolves have been
Strong.
very, very good, haven't they?
The back three are brilliant.
You know, they're not conceding many goals at all.
Back three are brilliant. And then when you've got Traore and you've got Jimenez up top, you've got a real threat. And that was, for Villa, I think they'll be happy that in generally limited Wolves, so not many opportunities. I think you've got to look for little things when you're down there of what you can do to get out of it. And so I guess they'll be pleased with that. But again, the no striker will ultimately probably haunt Aston Villa, because as good as Grealish is at getting on the ball and trying to make things happen, he's got nothing in the middle. You've got you've got a young lad who works hard. They've got, you know, don't know where Wesley is. I don't know whether he's injured, but I mean, if he's done anything anyway. Samatta's come in and got the odd goal. There's just nothing there.
That Brighton game's at the Amex.
Oh, is that the Amex, is it?
Yeah,
Brighton,
yeah.
Man U.
Villa's next game, Anfield. So
go on.
They've got Liverpool on Sunday.
Sunday, isn't it? Yeah.
Norwich have got Brighton on Saturday. Chelsea are playing Watford at Stamford Bridge. So you look at those games, you just think, you know, West Ham have got Chelsea on Wednesday. That's the 8 o'clock kickoff. Bournemouth have got Newcastle. So that's a big game.
That Bournemouth, isn't it?
That's at Bournemouth. So
See, they'll be looking and thinking, this is our moment now. And if we can beat Newcastle, then we drag ourselves, you know, into a position where who knows where we are. Look at Watford. I watched Watford and Southampton yesterday, and Watford had a lot of the ball. Southampton played in the counter attack. Danny Ings scored a cracker. Then Watford came out second half and was all Watford. Sarr had an opportunity. Deeney had things blocked. He just couldn't quite. He was hesitating. That thing when you're struggling, you start hesitating. And then Southampton broke and Danny Ings made it 2-0. And Watford get a goal back and you think, oh, here comes the cavalry now, you know, get themselves out of a hole, and they give a stupid free kick away out of the box. Ward-Prowse puts it top corner. And then really, Southampton should have scored 5 or 6 after that, because Watford were all over the place. But you look at them, and I watched them against Leicester last week and thought, they're all right, because they did well against Leicester.
Did all right, didn't they?
But then they go to Burnley and lose, which is just beyond me. You know, they should be able to go and cope with Burnley, because it's more or less similar size. Yeah. You know, physicality of the team, and then they lose at home to Southampton. They're in big trouble.
No, they are. I mean, they're only up. They're a point above, obviously, Villa, but Bournemouth and West Ham have got a game in hand. So if Bournemouth could beat Newcastle, then that would put Watford in the bottom.
Still think Watford are better than West Ham, and they've got better players, and I think they've got a better manager. They haven't got a better manager. They've got a manager who can seem to be able to get more out of his players at this moment. I think Moyes at the moment has lost his way a little bit. I think, again, it's the goal scorer.
Do you think any of those bottom 5 can get, 3 wins? Because I think if any of not the bottom 5, because I think Norwich have gone.
Yeah, Norwich have gone.
Do you think any of those 4 teams, if they could pick up 3, I think 3 wins will keep you up.
Bournemouth, Watford, West Ham and Villa.
Because 3 wins will keep you up, I think.
How many games have they won this season? How many games have Bournemouth?
Villa, Bournemouth and West Ham have won 7. Watford have won 6. And Watford are above them.
So you're expecting Watford...
No, I know.
No, I'm saying you need them, Watford, to get you know, half of the wins they've got so far in 32 games.
Isn't that mad? I mean, I know 3 is a lot when you've only got 6 games left.
That's only 36 points.
No, I know, but
isn't it?
It's not about anyone else.
No. It's a mini league.
Do you think 2 wins could be enough for any of those teams?
I think you'd need
a draw.
I think
7
you need
points.
30. No, I think you're right. I think you need about 36 points. I think Dean Smith said
Hang on.
Dean Smith said at the weekend it's a 5, because he obviously was being respectful to Norwich. Of course. Said it's a 5-team league. He said the rest are probably all right.
All right, I appreciate that. but it's only the 4 of them, right? And they've only got 27 points, 28 points. Do you think any of them will get like 6, 7, 8 points? Genuinely?
No.
I can't see any of those teams getting above.
Right, West Ham, Chelsea at home,
Yeah.
Newcastle away.
None of them. I think there's only a couple of games that they play each other.
No, so I'm saying, so West Ham, Chelsea at home, Newcastle away, which is a horrible game. But he'll look at that and think we can get a point up there.
Yeah.
Burnley at home, another horrible game for them. But again, that's one you'd look at. Norwich away for West Ham.
That's the game. Well,
Then Watford at home
yeah.
and Man United away. So for West Ham, I personally think they'll get beat at home to Chelsea, and Chelsea will beat them comfortably. Newcastle away, I can't see them winning at Newcastle. A draw. Burnley at home, possibly a win.
Possibly.
Norwich away, possibly a win. Watford at home, I don't think they'll beat Watford, because I think United will bounce them. So West Ham, for me, will maybe get 7 more points.
34.
Would give 34, 8 maybe tops, right?
So 35, maybe.
All right, so Villa have got Liverpool away, Manchester United at home,
Yeah, but 0.
Palace at home, Everton away, Arsenal at home, West Ham away.
I'm going to be.
Oh, hang on,
I'm
I didn't include West Ham Villa there, did I?
I'm going to be very generous and say Villa 5 points.
So that gives them what?
32.
Right, so at the moment we've got West Ham up above them.
Yeah.
Right. Watford, Chelsea away,
Nothing.
Norwich at home,
I think they'll win that.
Yeah.
3 points.
Newcastle at home,
I think they'll draw. 4 points.
West Ham away,
I think they'll draw and get 5 points.
Man City at home,
Nothing.
Arsenal away.
I think they'll get a draw and then they'll get 6 points.
So 6 points gives them.
34.
So them and West Ham have got 34 at the moment by your reckoning.
Go on.
Right. Bournemouth, Newcastle at home.
I'm going to give them a win. I'm just going to do it.
All right. Man United away.
Nothing.
Tottenham at home.
Nothing.
Leicester at home.
A point.
Man City away.
Nothing.
Southampton at home. Derby.
Oh, I might just give them a point.
Everton away.
I might just give them a point.
I honestly,
No.
I think we'll beat them about 5.
5. I'm going to say 5 points, so 32. So Bournemouth and Villa will both finish on 32, and West Ham and Watford will stay up.
On 34 points, 35 points.
34, 35 points. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. Bottom 3 as it is. By that reckoning. But then if it comes down to, is it Villa, Watford, West Ham last game of the season?
Leave it to you on that.
Are they claret and blue? Oh, I want Villa to stay up.
I don't feel
You know what I mean? It's the you want the Kazoo derby next season.
Yeah. You want Villa, I mean, I feel for Nicky and that because he's boss lad and all that, but Villa are a Premier League, one of the greatest Premier League clubs, like top flight clubs like us, aren't they? So,
of course they are.
West Ham, interesting. Chelsea.
There you go.
You
Incredible.
see those West Ham games, I could actually I could see them losing to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Drawing at Newcastle, drawing against Burnley, so that's 2. Winning at Watford 5, drawing against Watford 6, and losing against United still 6, and losing against Villa at home.
Crazy. Let's just go back to Wolves.
Yeah.
Obviously they beat Villa, 3 wins in a row. No goals conceded.
No.
And they're up to 5th place.
Champions League.
Man United could go above them with their game in hand on goal difference, but they've pulled within 2 points of Chelsea, 3 points of Leicester. Fantastic restart for them to win 3 on the bounce. All right, not 3 of the hardest teams in the world to beat, but they've done it. They've done it, and that's the consistency you need to be in the European places. They're still in the Europa League. So when that gets going again, who's to say that they won't be in a position?
They've lost the second least games after Liverpool, I think. Them and maybe
six games they've lost.
They've had 6
And
defeats.
considering the start they had.
Yeah, they've drawn loads, haven't they? I think the thing with Wolves, I think we said it last week, they're a well-established team. They know how each other plays. He uses 14 players, basically. They all know the the way they play, and then Jimenez up front and Sayori, I think they're up there, haven't they, with I think they've made 10 goals for each other this season, which is like quite high. They're a good partnership. So in them two up front, and they've also got Jota, who's a good player, they've got a goal scorer. I've said this about the Premier League, and I'll say it again. If you take out Liverpool and Manchester City, who are head and shoulders above the rest at the moment, and then you maybe put Chelsea there as well at the moment because they're on a good run. Everybody else is, if you can get organised and you've got someone to stick the ball in the net, you can finish in the European places in the Premier League without being a great team.
Yeah.
But Wolves are very, very consistent.
Consistency, being organised at the back and having a goal scorer, and you're going to do well.
Sorted, yeah.
And I used to say that we, as Evertonians, won't have that soon. Just moving on, German transfer window. Dates, July the 15th until October the 5th. So that gives us a little bit of an indication of what the Premier League might be. The UEFA have said they do not want it to go any further than October the 5th.
Why has it got to be October?
Because...
Go on.
Because I'm literally giving you the answer.
Okay.
Because UEFA club competitions, the registering of players has been set for October the 6th. So that gives you some indication of when the UEFA tournaments are going to start.
September. Because you can...
Will it be though?
Now. Yeah, because now you're in competition and you should be able to register at the end of August, didn't you?
Okay. So, yeah, October the 6th.
Well, it will be September, because think about it. The Champions League finals on the 23rd of August. And the Europa League finals on the 21st of August. So, September competition will be about right, won't it? That's one. It's so late, but it's so late because of that, isn't it? Because they're late. So,
so there you go. And also in European news, Gigi Buffon and Cellini have signed new one-year extensions at Juventus. Amazing.
The institution.
He will be 43 by the time the deal expires. Obviously, that's Juve. And obviously, they are bringing in Arthur from Juventus as well.
That's been confirmed, hasn't it?
Pjanic is going the other way.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they've done it in such a way as well where Arthur's coming in for 71 million and Pjanic is going the other way for 60 million. So it's not, they've done it as separate like deals as well, which is obviously very FFP heavy. But apparently Sarri wants to build the team round Arthur. He wants it to be like Jorginho when he had them at Napoli and obviously short term at Chelsea. Wants to build the team round him and he'll be the fresh down. But Arthur's interesting because he's in the Brazil documentary, isn't he, on Amazon? And I mean, obviously he's got this huge local fan base in Brazil, but he's almost seen as like the player who's got it all, but there's just it doesn't say it, but there's almost like they almost nod that there's a lack of professionalism there. He's fat, basically. He's fat, and
in that he's fat.
They basically say like
they're not happy with him, are they?
No, he comes back overweight, doesn't he? And they're basically like getting him on you see him going through all these like exercises, and they're trying to make sure they don't put too much strain on him but they're like saying you've come back overweight, and it almost seems like when he was at Barcelona as well, that was the stop that seems to have stopped them. And it'll be interesting by going to Juventus whether training with Ronaldo every day will give him the appetite.
He's not going to be able to do that at Juve, be fat and
that's what I'm saying.
Although Higuain's got away with it.
Well, yeah. You know, he's going to need that appetite, or maybe that lack of an appetite, to especially if the team's getting built round him. And maybe that'll be the thing you need to feel like he is the main man, because obviously at Barcelona it's just never seems to have worked for him. But he's obviously looked at as a huge talent. Barcelona had him down as like the next Iniesta or Xavi, whatever, and it simply hasn't worked out the way, which is weird as well, because Barcelona, they drew the weekend 2-2. Real Madrid go and win. They've gone clear now, and it looks like they're going to be getting rid of the manager. And it's weird that they're prepared to sell players while possibly lose their manager as well.
Club's a mess, mate.
It just seems all over the gaff, doesn't it? And bring a player in.
Since Pep left, it's been all over the place. Think of them in 2012. they were at their absolute pomp, weren't they?
Yeah.
They were the team you looked at in Europe and were like, no one can get close to these. They play incredible. Okay, that didn't necessarily play out every season in the Champions League, you know, but they still won it in 2011, didn't they? And you looked at them and were like, what a side these are, and everything. They just seemed such a powerful club.
Do you think one of the problems with Barcelona is their financial model doesn't work in terms of like because they are owned by their fans, they have to look at every alternative to bring in finances, and they do. Don't get me wrong, they do it well in terms of like sponsorship and stuff, different, you know, all the different kinds of sponsorship. But I feel like they're always reaching, like they're always like putting themselves in situations.
You said to me something when we done the Tuesday topic, and we were talking about players who were, you know, the clubs like not have patience to train players that they just want to. And I look at Barcelona, Barcelona and some of their players they've signed, and almost for a few years they almost went through this thing of paying whatever for players without there being a plan. Coutinho's the biggest one.
Yeah.
Obviously they paid a lot for Suarez, but Suarez went in and played and scored goals. He's been fantastic. Got another 2 at the weekend for them. He's been a real success.
That goal with Brain, by the way, did you see it?
Yeah.
Messi's free kick, unbelievable.
Yeah. But Suarez has really repaid the money they paid for him, because he's been a success every season. But Dembele, 105 million, didn't need to pay that for him. Coutinho, I know Liverpool want to call it 140, but apparently it was nowhere near 100. That. It was 100 million or whatever. Again, they didn't need that. They could have bought 3 players for that amount of money that would have worked within their team. And I think they've lost the way massively over the last 5 years, massively. They went from having, and it is difficult once you've created this perfect football team and it starts to break up. And it starts to break up simply because the players are too old to continue. With Xavi, Iniesta, you know, unbelievable footballers. When they left, you know, they had Neymar and he went out the door, okay, for whatever reason. But that is difficult. So they've never found a partnership for the middle of the park again. Now they've got Frankie de Jong, who's incredible. They've made some good signings, but other ones have been ridiculous. There's no way they shouldn't have completed the Lit signing. Yeah. They had him tied up and they let it go, and yet they'll push the boat out ridiculously on other players. I just don't get it. I just think it's bad management year after year after year. Real Madrid have done the same now. Real Madrid have, it's almost... I
was going to say, Barcelona have strayed into the Galacticos territory, haven't they?
And I don't think they needed to.
No.
It's about a need a team. And I think this is why Atletico Madrid have had so much, have been able to get in and bloody their noses a little bit at times, because they haven't been able to, all right, they've still bought players, but they haven't been able to do it the same way. And because the other two, better for La Liga's health really, that the other two aren't great at doing what they do. But if they would have concentrated on, like, what do we do next, and bought the right kind of players, I think Barcelona and Real would have been
what
better.
They've done massively wrong is overpaid for players who were basically grassroots players, like players like Dembele shouldn't have paid anywhere near that kind of money, and yet haven't paid for players who were, like, you mentioned Suarez there, they've gone out and bought absolute top class player, whereas, you know, you think to them, well, why didn't you go out and buy someone else for really good money? Like, Coutinho was doing well for Liverpool, but he wasn't. But you could see what was that. Salah and Mane and Firmino were the main men. He was just like the backup. He was Ringo. You know, the other 3 were the main 3. And that's why Liverpool weren't that bothered. That's why Klopp wasn't bothered. He knew with the money he could make them a better team. And you wonder why they haven't done that with, you know, why haven't, you know, Juventus went and got Ronaldo, and people were like, oh, the age of and stuff like that. But they were like, yeah, but he's the finished product. And I think that's where Barcelona have gone massively wrong. They haven't gone out and bought the finished product. Because why pay 100 million for a kid that the year before you could have brought in for 15 million quid? All right, they went and got Griezmann, and people say Griezmann is the finished product. So fair enough. That hasn't quite worked.
No.
But you said it before, the minute they lost Neymar, that's when it all changed. That's when they start to become, when people are like, hang on, he's the successor to Messi. You should be finding a way to keep him. Putting a big arm around him going, you're not going anywhere. But they didn't, and then suddenly people started looking at them different. And they had all that money, and they've essentially, you know, you said it there, the midfield, well, go and buy the best midfielder in the world, whoever that is. Whoever you think it is, go and buy them. Don't buy.
Yeah, but if you're buying Phil Coutinho, then keep Phil Coutinho, build your team around him. If you're paying 100 million for someone, make it work.
But they bought Coutinho and then said, well, we're changing his position. It's just like, well, don't. Buy the best player in the world in that position. You're Barcelona, you've got money. If you've got 100 million to buy Coutinho, then you've got, you know, whoever it was, let's say Paul Pogba. I don't know. Say Paul Pogba because it's after the World Cup. Then go and buy Paul Pogba then. If you want a dominant midfielder, who's up and down, who's probably thrive in the La Liga, then go and buy him then. Go and buy him. But you know where it all went wrong? The minute they let Sandro go. That's when it all went wrong.
And Adama Traore, who they could get back.
God.
But that's it. That they've been scrapping around lately, and it's all gone pear-shaped, hasn't it?
There you go.
Well, hang on, just
lastly. Come on then, come on.
Just very quickly.
Come on, very quickly.
Arjen Robben's back out of retirement.
He's not back out of retirement. He isn't back.
Coming back with Groningen.
No, hang on. This has been. I watched the announcement video.
Okay.
This has been lost in translation.
Okay.
Right? He said if he can get fit, then he's coming back.
Yeah.
But he's got to get fit first.
He said here.
I know. I watched the video.
Follow me heart. He's here.
He's gone back
to wear the Groningen shirt.
It's
again.
his team, and he said if he can get fit, then he's going to play for them.
He's watched Last Dance with Michael Jordan. That's why he's credited it, and he's thought, that's what I want. I want one more hurrah. He's going to get fit. Past 3 weeks, he'll have loads of conversations, and he's going to work hard. It's his dream to wear the Groningen shirt again.
Good on him.
And it'll not depend on my commitment and motivation if it doesn't work out, because I want to wear that shirt again.
Good stuff.
He's back in training. It looks as though he's signing for Groningen rather, not Heerenveen. So
no, definitely not.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, fair play to him. That's a great move for everyone there, for the whole club, and he's gone back to his old club. So
I'm sure he'll still do all right, because the Dutch league's a little bit. Technically, I mean, we've seen Van Persie do all right for Feyenoord before he retired. So Kite as well was excellent.
Well, so there you go. Good, happy, feel-good story to finish on. If you want to watch this show live, make sure you join us on Patreon. The link is in the description. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, there you go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.